Hello, I'm Anne-Maree Hunter. I fell in love with artist books the first time I saw them as an undergraduate when I was making prints at Newcastle University. I'd now been making prints for 15 years, mainly etchings and lithographs, and I think artist books actually are a natural progression from making prints, because prints are all about making multiples, making many of one. Artist books have become a focus for my work since I started a PhD specifically about artist books. I was interested in how artist books are shown and where they're shown, such as a gallery or a library or a museum, and the difficulty there is with showing artist books. A book's an intimate object that you have to step up closely to, and it's very hard when a lot of places don't actually let the audience touch the artist's book. So I was looking for a way to show a book that an audience could come and see without the need to handle the book. I was interested in the ancient form of a scroll. A scroll basically came before the codex. The problem with a scroll, though, is that you can only ever see a very small part of it at any one time. So I set about making a few paper models. I came across the idea of putting a scroll up on its end like a concertina book, so it would be freestanding. Again, you can't see the whole of the book. So playing around with these little paper models, I came across the idea of just having a very long, narrow triangle of paper rolled in on itself. And basically it's just a spiral that looks something like a tower. Because it looked like a tower, I coined the term Babel books to describe them, and one of the books I ended up making was based on the Tower of Babel. The techniques I've used in the Tower of Babel is collecting up all the scripts that many languages are in, collaging those together, silk screening those onto printmaking paper. At the same time, I was also making a lot of etchings that made the buildings in the book. There was a lot of filing because they're all shaped plates, and a lot of trips into and out of the acid to get some of the textures that are on the plates. Once they were finished, they were printed in a line along the paper, and they were put together in a long strip in that circular triangle, rolled up, and a lot of cutting out of roofs and windows was done as well, to give people a way of looking into, behind and through the windows and over the rooftops. The Tower of Babel, when you first look at it, looks something like a sculpture, so I hope an audience actually will treat it partly like a sculpture, where they can come to it, see it, look at it, get the impression that it's a tower, walk around it like it's a sculpture. Then, because I'm interested in artist books and prints, I also hope that they step up very closely to it and see the detail, because artist books and prints are both intimate objects that really you have to come close to get a full impression of and an understanding of. I will probably continue to make artist books. I've made over 100 to date, but I've got hundreds of more in my mind, but I probably don't have enough time to make them all. Probably the best way to sum my artist books up would be to say that they are eclectic.